In a move aimed at realigning its live-action fairy tale strategy, Disney has just revealed that Margot Robbie will headline an all-new adaptation of Cinderella. The surprise announcement comes on the heels of the studio's much-publicized missteps with Snow White, one tweet declared, reflecting a broader sentiment of cautious optimism.
I think it's really on her to go back and correct the record now because she was spreading a lot of fear and disinformation.
Yet, a vocal minority remains unconvinced, voicing concerns that Disney will simply repeat the same marketing miscalculations that doomed Snow White. Cinderella is the easiest fairy tale to adapt. Don't fix what isn't broken, cautioned a longtime Disney blogger. This tug of war among enthusiastic supporters and wary skeptics underscores the complexity of launching another big-budget remake in a post-Snow White landscape.
And also, what is beautiful about the original Snow White too is the hand-drawn animation, right? Is the beauty of the cartoon. Yeah, and it's really, there's an authenticity to it.
It also highlights the broader implications and underlines key points that resonate with how this issue impacts stakeholders and the audience alike, underscoring that emotional attachments to fairy tales can quickly turn combative if fan expectations are not carefully met. As for the creative team, Disney remains tight-lipped about who will direct or pen the screenplay.
Do these orgies of CGI animation, recycling in a loveless format, the exact same, now every story is the same story about, again, a kick-ass female protagonist?
Insiders suggest that the studio is evaluating multiple proven talents who have demonstrated flair for whimsical storytelling, comedic timing, and heartfelt drama. Qualities essential for a Cinderella saga that must captivate both older fans and younger viewers. Some rumors suggest Disney might seek out a director with musical theater credentials, hoping to recapture the spirit of the original animated classic while injecting fresh theatrical dynamism.
And I love what you said about wanting to entertain audiences, critics saying Disney's too woke, but you're just putting out storytelling.
We are. Look, I don't really like the term woke because I think it's an umbrella term that I'm not 100% sure I even know what it means.
Another rumor points to the possibility of a behind-the-scenes fairy tale council within Disney, consisting of legacy animators, script doctors, and franchise guardians, whose collective job is to ensure that the modern approach never dilutes the iconic essence of these stories. While unconfirmed, this speculation aligns with the sense that after Snow White, every facet of the production will be scrutinized at the highest levels.
Rachel Zegler's travel expenses for singing overseas when it came to different countries besides the United States. This really is an overspending spree by Disney CEO Bob Iger.
It also highlights the broader implications and underlines key points that resonate with how this issue impacts stakeholders and the audience alike. Although not referencing that film by name, the statement lauded the timeless appeal of classic stories and the importance of respecting audience expectations. Many see this Cinderella project as a direct manifestation of those lessons, a chance to demonstrate that the studio can, in fact, evolve its approach while still delivering the fairy tale wonder that core fans revere. Robbie's involvement seems carefully curated to convey seriousness and star appeal without overshadowing the heart of the narrative. Should the film succeed, it may chart a new path for how Disney reinterprets its canon, less about radical reimaginings and more about thoughtful expansions that neither patronize nor alienate. It also highlights the broader implications and underlines key points that resonate with how this issue impacts stakeholders and the audience alike, indicating the potential shift from bold experimentation toward a more measured blend of nostalgia and novelty. Online commentary already speculates how Robbie's Cinderella might differ from previous interpretations. Will the stepmother be rendered more nuanced, reflecting shifting cultural conversations around evil parental figures? Will the mice and bird friends return in comedic glory or be downplayed for realism? And crucially, will the film preserve the original sense of romance, given modern audiences' varied stances on love at first sight? Disney's track record suggests a few twists, perhaps a deeper dive into Cinderella's emotional life and resourcefulness. But the real question is how deftly these changes will be woven into the familiar beats of the glass slipper, the ball, and the stroke of midnight. Every nod to tradition can stir applause from purists, while every deviation risks igniting the controversies that dogged Snow White. It also highlights the broader implications and underlines key points that resonate with how this issue impacts stakeholders and the audience alike. reminding us that each narrative choice in a beloved fairy tale can become a flashpoint in modern pop culture discourse. Meanwhile, Margot Robbie has remained relatively quiet about her new role. According to her representatives, she's currently in the preliminary stages of script discussions, costume concept reviews, and overall tone alignment with the studio. One inside source says Robbie is thrilled to tackle a role so steeped in cinematic history, referencing the actress's fascination with iconic female characters who straddle idealism and complexity. Fans recall Robbie's diverse career, including comedic edges in Birds of Prey, dramatic depths in I, Tanya, and even romantic musicality in Babylon. Those who champion her casting believe she possesses the range to honor Cinderella's kindness while injecting a dash of contemporary agency. It also highlights the broader implications and underlines key points that resonate with how this issue impacts stakeholders and the audience alike, revealing how an actor's eclectic filmography can reassure viewers that a classic character is in capable hands. Of course, not all watchers are convinced. Skeptics question whether Disney can steer clear of over-promising and under-delivering, as many felt happened with Snow White. Some express concern that focusing on major star power rather than strong conceptual foundations might repeat past mistakes, overshadowing the fairy tale's simplicity with Hollywood bombast. To mitigate such doubts, sources say Disney is instituting a more rigorous pre-production phase, including tighter collaboration between...
Evie Magazine wrote on X, when you compare how Rachel Ziegler spoke about Snow White to how other actresses who played live-action Disney princesses spoke about their character, really underlines just how poorly she carried herself.
Disney hopes to restore audience confidence and reassert its dominance in the realm of timeless fairy tale adaptations. This decision also highlights the broader implications and underlines key points that resonate with how this issue impacts stakeholders and the audience alike, showcasing Disney's determination to forge ahead with cherished properties despite recent turbulence. Rumors of a new Cinderella had circulated for months, though few expected the announcement so soon after the Snow White fiasco.
Some people who know a lot of films do it in a way where they're like, oh, you haven't seen? No.
Yet insiders say Disney's top brass believes Margot Robbie's casting will generate exactly the kind of goodwill the studio needs. The Australian-born star, praised for her ability to alternate seamlessly between comedic charisma and emotionally grounded performances, is seen as an ideal fit for the kind-hearted but resilient Cinderella. Early indications suggest the project will blend the original animated classic's sweet charm with a contemporary spirit, aiming to sidestep the pitfalls that plagued Snow White.
Weekend 2 delivers even more box office humiliation for Snow White.
According to a Disney spokesperson, we're delighted to have Margot on board. Her talent, warmth, and versatility make her a perfect modern Cinderella. Audiences will see a version of the story that honors its core magic while speaking to today's viewers. It also highlights the broader implications and underlines key points that resonate with how this issue impacts stakeholders and the audience alike, underscoring the vital role casting can play in rehabilitating a studio's live-action fairy tale brand.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White.
That is not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Industry watchers note that the timing of this reveal is a strategic maneuver. With Snow White controversies still simmering, Disney evidently wants to seize control of the narrative before skepticism deepens. Observers recall that the Snow White marketing campaign clashed with fan expectations early on, with some cast remarks and modernized plot points igniting a backlash that never fully subsided. The hope is that a shift to Cinderella, one of the most universally recognized and less frequently modified fairy tales, will help re-establish Disney's hallmark blend of romance, hope, and enchantment.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her.
Say it louder so your other eye can hear you.
Margot Robbie's casting, in particular, has sparked tentative excitement among fans who admire her transformations into layered, empathetic characters. It also highlights the broader implications and underlines key points that resonate with how this issue impacts stakeholders and the audience alike, revealing how large entertainment entities can pivot swiftly to preserve audience affection when major endeavors go awry.
Young Rachel Zegler, I would say,
say probably is at the point where she's believing in the excitement of it all. And who can blame her? Who can blame her? Because it is very exciting to be told you're brilliant all day long if some point in the past you felt that you were worthless, as I did.
While Disney has yet to disclose many plot details, insiders hint that this Cinderella adaptation will incorporate iconic elements that fans cherish, like the glass slipper, fairy godmother, and midnight deadline, while introducing updated thematic layers. Word has it, the script aims to expand Cinderella's backstory, delving into her resilience and optimism under adversity.
I could sort of feel the edges of truth everywhere. Young Rachel Zegler, I would say, probably is at the point where she's believing in the excitement of it all. And who can blame her? Who can blame her? Because it is very exciting to be told you're brilliant all day long if some point in the past you felt that you were worthless, as I did.
Unlike the previous version, which scaled back on musical moments, this remake is expected to lean into the whimsical and musical identity that made the 1937 film a genre-defining masterpiece. Fans will also be relieved to know that the beloved dwarfs will make their return, faithfully, but with thoughtful updates that respect both the source material and today's cultural sensitivities between marketing and creative teams to avoid the contradictory messaging that frustrated Snow White viewers. Margot Robbie's camp echoes these sentiments, hinting that the actress is keenly aware of the pitfalls and deeply committed to ensuring authenticity. It also highlights the broader implications and underlines key points that resonate with how this issue impacts stakeholders and the audience alike, suggesting that behind-the-scenes synergy and clear artistic direction may prove crucial to winning back the hearts of fans tired of haphazard reboots. Meanwhile, insiders in the entertainment field see this Cinderella announcement as further evidence of Disney's unwavering reliance on its animated vault, even in the face of fan fatigue and sporadic disappointments. Some note that earlier successes, like The Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast, demonstrated the enormous potential for profitability when a remake strikes the right chord of nostalgia and modern flair. By contrast, fiascos like Snow White illustrate the perils of stumbling into a minefield of fan expectations without a cohesive plan. With Cinderella, the stakes could be even higher, given the character's iconic status as a linchpin of the Disney princess lineup. If Robbie's portrayal resonates, it may restore confidence in Disney's broader blueprint for reimagining its classics. The loudest criticisms of the prior film was its approach to these characters, whose removal or redesign was met with widespread confusion and backlash. In the upcoming version, Disney intends to preserve their presence while updating how they're portrayed, ensuring they remain true to the spirit of the original, but grounded in more careful character development and modern sensibilities. Production is expected to begin in early 2026, with a theatrical release tentatively slated for spring 2028. Disney's long lead time suggests a deliberate approach, which contrasts sharply with the rushed promotional cycle that undermined the prior attempt. Insiders also say the studio will avoid politicizing or over-intellectualizing the rollout. Rather than emphasizing the remake's modern spin, Disney's strategy this time will focus on honoring the original's heart and craftsmanship, letting the film speak for itself. This more reserved, emotionally grounded approach is already being reflected in the film's early concept art. According to reports from a recent investor showcase, the costume designs lean into classic silhouettes with delicate embellishments, while the sets harken back to European storybook villages with a heightened realism. Early footage of forest concept renders and animation tests reportedly received applause for their visual richness and nods to the original's painterly charm. Disney's goal seems to be to evoke awe and beauty, not controversy. Within Disney's corporate structure, this project is being treated as a critical opportunity to course-correct not just Snow White, but the broader live-action strategy. After a string of underwhelming reboots and declining box office performance, the studio knows that another misstep could significantly undermine consumer trust in its ability to handle legacy properties. Margot Robbie's Snow White isn't just another title, it's a brand reset, a signal to fans and stakeholders that Disney can still deliver the magic. And that's exactly how Disney CEO Bob Chapek, or his successor depending on the timeline, framed it in a closed-door media briefing. This is not about redoing Snow White again.